The Department of Education handed out report cards today showing how 8th graders are faring in the classroom.
Our Lauren Edwards has been looking into those numbers and the assessment itself. She joins us now with the latest on it. Lauren.
Josh, Janice, 8th graders across the country take the assessment once every 4 years, and results show that recently, since 2018, scores have dropped in the areas of U.S. history and civics. But we spoke with one local educator who says, there's no need to panic.
It's like, let's pause. The building is not caving in because of the pandemic.
The National Assessment of Educational Progress released the results of the 2022 assessment of civics and U.S. history among 16,000 8th graders nationwide, and they say scores dropped, but by only a few points.
It's not that large of a difference. So, but it has dropped from the last test, but we go back 20 plus years. It's pretty much on par where we were at 20 years ago.
Specifically, the results show that for civics, the scores dropped by a few points from 2018, from 153 to 150 on a scale of 0 to 300, the same number as the 90s. And for U.S. history, the average score dropped by 5 points since 2018 and 9 points since 2014, from 267 in 1994 to 258 on a scale from 0 to 500. Dr. Curtis Lewis with Michigan State University says that researchers assume students suffered a learning loss during the pandemic.
Due to this sort of drastic shift in how we do schools during the pandemic, we went strictly one day we were in class, pencil, paper, talking to teachers in person to we're going online.
But he says learning loss doesn't just stem from that.
We need to look at what was happening before the pandemic, right? Just as much as we're looking at what's happening after pandemic.
Like the teacher shortage, he says, and students' social and emotional learning. Nevertheless, these current numbers on civics and history, he says, aren't alarming, so there's no need to panic.
It's more than just a pandemic that causes that shift. But again, it's not that great of a shift that we need to be. I think it's a downward spiral, a downward trend that we should be concerned about, but it's not just due to the pandemic.
So there are more numbers to digest, and if you want to take a good look at all of them, you can head to fox17online.com or click on our mobile app. Reporting live here in studio, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.